following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots. Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Savannah Humoller, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it is time for another edition of Mick Shots, high noon on a Thursday, which is actually a Friday from the Cowboys standpoint.
That's right.
Because the game is on Saturday, not on Sunday this week. Saturday night football, Cowboys and the Detroit
But
Lions.
it's a
back
Monday
home.
night special edition on
Saturday night. Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
So
because we got a national.
We're all
That's because we have national semifinal games on Monday night, New Year's night.
Nice.
Switching to college football, and I am here to announce there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
okay.
Only two more Mix Shots with Mickey wearing that Missouri garb.
He's been
You know what?
out there like a peacock, man.
It's a good thing there's only 5 days in a week because I don't think I have anything else new to wear. No, I got a sweatshirt for tomorrow.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
Yes.
Well, that'll be the last
It's going to be one of those bright yellow sweatshirts with
It's
a big
probably
old
old
tiger
black.
on it.
It's a
or-
black.
It's
It is
old as
black.
hell.
Okay.
It's the oldest one he had.
I do have a gold sweatshirt, but it's not a Missouri sweatshirt.
What are you wearing to the game tomorrow night?
I haven't decided
You
yet.
gotta go buy something.
I might have to. I ran out of time today because they were selling stuff at the
Okay, and
coach's
so
breakfast.
Mickey just made it here in time because he was at the Cotton Bowl breakfast?
Yeah,
or-
that's
Coach's-
what it is.
Coach's
now.
breakfast?
Coach's
Yeah.
breakfast.
Nice.
At the
How was that?
Anatole.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I have a New Year's present for Savannah.
Oh, wow. Cotton Bowl Classic.
Gosh,
job,
Mickey,
good job.
thank you.
Did that come with the credentials this year?
Cool.
No, it came with your ticket.
No
to the
credentials.
event.
The freebie.
At the coach's
That reminds
breakfast,
me,
yeah.
I need to go pick up my media
is
credentials
awesome.
to get my freebie, whatever it is.
You're going to go to the
Thanks,
game?
Mickey.
No. Why
Oh,
would
you
I go
just
to
got
that
a
game?
credential
Cool.
to cover it.
great.
Just go-
You're a media
Yeah.
guy.
You just go pick up the credentials because there's freebies
Get your
in
swag.
there. Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Very nice.
I'm just glad you got your chair
great.
back, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
good.
was so funny watching you back deep in the corner.
It was
That's
dark
right.
back then.
Yeah, it
Deep
was,
in the
man.
gallows of the SWBC podcast
Every
studio.
once in a while, he come out of the shadows like, "Hey, I got something to say."
And I got to tell you,
Do I have permission? It was like when we started Rob Phillips out. He was at the kids' table off to the side.
Right, you talked about that a long time.
See, Savannah, you've really advanced.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes, we show
came
you
in
a
here
lot
with
more
it.
respect than we
Yes,
did Rob
we do.
Phillips
Poor
back
Rob.
then.
Appreciate that, guys. Thanks.
And I got to say, I actually walked out of here injured yesterday because Mickey was seated back over my left shoulder. I had to twist around whenever he talked, and I'm no lie. My back hurt the rest of the afternoon. I got home and I got on one of those little rollers, that you do for your back.
Did you really?
You
That
got
stuff
on
works.
a foam roller?
Yeah, that's a foam roller. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was part
because
of your
Are you
routine
feeling
last
better
night?
today?
I am better today.
We're back to normal.
Yes, we
normal
are.
seating.
I've added him to the injury report.
Hey, but
Limited. He's limited.
Injured
Limited.
during mix shots. Now I can understand a listener getting injured during mix shots.
Damn.
Just-
Yeah,
Or
that would be
offended,
great.
one of the two.
That's right.
But
All
no,
right.
it was fun though. I want to mention how fun it was to have Campo on, man.
Yeah.
It was
That
so
was
cool.
good stuff.
He
Yeah.
he kept apologizing afterwards. Oh, I think I talked too much. I said, no.
No,
That's
man.
why we had you
That's
on.
why we had him on.
And we could have him on again today because he could go on and on talking about Darren Woodson.
Yes.
Who, once again, is a finalist, second year in a row for the Hall of Fame, one of the 15 finalists.
You know, between you two guys, I'm exhausted. Just trying to explain why you belong in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
And it shouldn't really go with any explanation. I mean, the guy, how many times is this? How many times has it been?
Was it
He's
eight?
for Woody?
It was
Yeah.
8 times.
But he's advanced to the finalist round. He's been a semifinalist. 8 times,
Semifinalist, yeah.
but he top 25. But down to the 15 finalists, it's his second straight year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's only gotten that far. I mean,
that's as far as you can get.
Well,
before-
I mean, in regards to there should have been many more times if you're gonna nominate him.
And so, and without running down the list of the 15 finalists, I mean, you have two first-time finalists in first year of eligibility, and that's Antonio Gates and Julius Peppers. And so we'll see whether they get voted in their first year of eligibility.
Are there any more safeties or Cowboys?
Rodney Harrison is the safety.
God, now they're going to put him ahead of Woody. You see, because he's on TV all the damn time.
Right.
Give me a break, man. I can see it coming. Oh, wow.
They're going to say, well, he won Super Bowls. Well, you know what? Woody
So
won
did Woody.
3-2.
Yeah,
right?
well, they act like he's.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. Anyway, we kind of bring in place.
But Coach Campo was the one who was the first Cowboy, basically, a staffer, a guy on the coaching staff who went to Tempe and scouted the Arizona State players, and he was the one that discovered Darren Woodson there. In fact, it was Felipe Sparks that he went there to scout, and then Jimmy gave him a list of other players, and Woody was the one who.
Felipe Sparks, I played with him.
Yeah.
New York Giants.
The dad of Jordan Sparks.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Crazy, isn't it? That's crazy.
You want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
That's why we're here, Mickey. Hear your stories.
Tell us.
Funny or not, we're going to endure them.
We're in Phoenix. I think it was Phoenix. Where did Felipe play for the Giants?
Yes.
That's what we just established.
No,
that
but
a
I'm
moment
saying,
ago.
but I thought he had played.
No, he was drafted by the Giants.
What was his connection to Phoenix? Did he?
I think
Arizona State, maybe, or
yes, that's Dave
When he
Campo
said
went to Arizona State to look
yeah.
at
And
Felipe
he
Sparks.
scouted
Okay.
Darren
So,
Woodson.
All right.
So
Yeah.
now you're caught
now
up.
I got the
Now
story.
you're caught up.
So we're at the hotel, and it's one of these glass elevators, right? And so I get in there, and he came in. Felipe did, and we were just chatting, and we're going up, and he's looking out over. It was one of these atrium hotels, going out and looking, and he goes, "Hey, you see that floor over there? That one, that room right there?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "That's where I conceived my daughter."
Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. Well, thank you for that information.
Yes, I thought I'd help you out. Yes.
He must mean it's a good room for that.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. He was just going back through history. He was back playing for the Cowboys.
Don't get
right?
Don't get on an elevator like that with door set. If the back is out of it and you're going up, he's afraid of heights,
Oh, really?
and he will not turn around and look out the elevator.
Like a glass
He
elevator?
will not turn around.
So
Matter
he
of fact,
wasn't-
he's petrified. Was it St. Bonaventure in L.A.? Right, that hotel.
I think that's one of the.
Oh, yeah.
They're known for that. It's the out.
Yeah.
The back is clear, and he was petrified. He
Hopefully
would not
they
turn
didn't
around.
stay at the Hyatt next to the Superdome in
Same
New
thing,
Orleans.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, it's like 30 floors high.
I think Bonaventure
right?
is pretty high. I think that's the reason
And
for
it's
them
all
having that
glass,
elevator. Yeah. Crazy.
All right, we got a football game.
We do, and it's not the Cotton Bowl that we're going to talk about tomorrow night.
No.
We're going to talk about the game at AT&T Stadium.
We'll talk
on
about
Saturday.
that on Monday.
There we go. You have to
I
have
got
the
confidence
fight
in
song.
you. I
though.
got confidence in you, Span.
We're gonna
Confidence
need
in-
2 fight songs on Monday, hopefully.
That's right.
Why is Oklahoma playing?
No.
Oh.
You're the
Well,
Mizzou.
tomorrow is Fight Song Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
So-
play tomorrow, and then
Yeah, right.
Monday we'll
Play the
Mizzou.
Ohio State
And if-
one in honor.
If Oklahoma
No,
wins
on Monday-
tonight, we'll play Boomer Sooner.
Are we?
You playing tonight?
By the way, yes,
They are.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't. It's a
Nobody's playing.
Alamo Bowl.
Oh,
we
sorry.
don't get
Yeah.
excited about bowls
No,
unless
no,
it's a
no,
college football
no.
playoff.
Did you ever play in
That's
the
why
Cotton
we're
Bowl?
we're excited about the Longhorns playing in the Sugar Bowl.
So they
on
can
Monday.
cheer against them.
My
No,
brother.
I'm cheering for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, you got to pull for the Big 12, man.
Yeah.
If you're in the Big 12, see, my brother never understood that. He's a UT man. I'm an OU man.
Yeah.
All right. He seems to think that if OU makes it, then it's he can't pull for them. That's so selfish.
See, my daddy always told me, growing up in Irving, okay, and so I'm a Texan, even though I was born in Oklahoma.
Did he tell you this is a football? And
Yeah, that's right.
Hit my daddy.
And even though my whole family is Sooners, in fact, the northwest entrance to the stadium. Our rich side of the family, they purchased basically that side of the stadium.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
and at the entrance, whatever, it has their name on it. And even though we got those kind of ties to Oklahoma, he always taught me, when OU's not playing Texas, you're rooting for Texas.
That's
so
right.
I'm rooting for the
That's
Longhorns.
it.
Yeah.
My brother is so selfish. He hates OU. I'm like, dude, you can hate them, but if you guys don't have a chance to represent the Big 12, then root for the ones that do. He's like, nope, I cannot. I will
Which by the way, your new commissioner was at the breakfast too.
Oh, how about that?
Greg Sankey.
Oh, the SEC commissioner.
Yes. I said your new commissioner.
That's right. That's right. There is an SEC team playing in the game.
How about
Missouri.
that?
Yeah.
So
All right.
you guys are going to be rivals
Again, we used to be rivals.
Playing?
And
in the Big 8.
Playing.
yeah, Big 8
Yeah.
and Big 12.
Playing next year.
We are?
Yeah, it's on
Oh,
the
yeah.
schedule.
That's one of the W's on the schedule.
As I told him, as long as they can score,
Bill's already talking.
One
There we
of the,
go,
one of the
baby.
few W's.
as long as they can score 40
Can we just
points.
get a countdown clock to that game, please?
Yeah.
Because with
What
their
school you go to?
defense,
What school you
Missouri's
go to?
putting up
North
40.
Texas.
See, Grambling, North Texas, that just doesn't have the same ring
Exactly.
as OU.
But
ought-
this will be entertaining to watch.
Oh, yeah.
You got to
Absolutely.
play each other.
I know, but, we're cool.
Yeah.
Y'all are not. You guys are not.
Chilling.
I want to hear about an injury report.
So we got another layer to the Matt Waletzko being activated off injured return
Injured reserve. Yes.
reserve because not only was his 21 days up, so they had to make a decision, either put him on the 53 or he's out for the rest of the year. Somebody the name of Chuma Udoga showed up at the injury report with a toe injury, limited. So I think they were, number one, still concerned about Tyron Smith, but number two, now worried about their depth.
So,
Right.
what happened? How did he hurt his toe?
Practice, I guess.
Oh, my God, man. Come on. What's going on?
Let's see. He was not.
Was he was added to the injury report?
Yes, because he was not
yesterday?
limited on Tuesday. So Wednesday, limited. Toe.
So he wasn't
took
DNP.
Dion
He was
down.
just limited. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the left tackle for the Lions, Taylor Decker.
He
As a
went from limited with a groin to DNP.
Let me give you a little something on the Lions offensive line, which is one of the best offensive lines in football. At left tackle, Taylor Decker, former first-round draft pick out of Ohio State, Mickey.
Right.
And then you've got Penei Sewell on the other side, who might be the best tackle in football the way he's playing.
He's listed with a shoulder, but practicing fully.
But if they have three former first-round draft picks on their offensive line and two third-round draft picks who start at guard. Okay. I did the research on it, and when that offensive line is healthy this season, all five starters are playing. The Lions are 7-0. If any one of those starters is missing due to an injury, they are 4-4. So that's how critical that Taylor Decker could be.
Is that mere
whether he
circumstance
plays or
there,
not.
or does that mean something?
It could mean something. I don't know.
What's the running back's name?
David
Well, they
Montgomery?
got two of them.
Montgomery.
David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah,
They got
both
who
of
have both combined for over. They have combined for over 2,000 yards from scrimmage and 21 touchdowns. You thought those two running backs last week were a handful? Well, you got another handful this week with Montgomery and Gibbs.
Trying to remember who compared him to Zeke and Tony Pollard. Maybe it was Parsons. They were talking about the different styles of running
Thunder,
backs.
lightning.
Or maybe it was Osa. I talked to both of them, one of the two. They were talking about, it's kind of a change-up. They're not both the same.
Montgomery's 225-pounder, ran a 4.6. Okay, so he's your Zeke. And although Zeke actually ran faster than that.
Yeah, he did.
And then Gibbs runs a 4.35, and he's a 200-pounder. But Pollard's a little bigger than him. But man, he's got some burst.
He can go.
He's got some juice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they want to run the football. I believe they're number 3 rushing offense.
I mean, you can tell.
They're good.
You go back to their first draft after Dan Campbell got there. Remember the scene in the draft room at Detroit when they drafted Penei Sewell? Those coaches were high-fiving each other. It was a 7th overall pick, a big offensive tackle out of Washington, and that set the tone for what they want to do as a football team, running the football. And they have improved immensely running the football and also stopping the run. Also, they were 29th in the league in run defense last year, and they're 4th this year in run
That's
defense.
a big difference.
You ain't lying, sir.
But they're 19th in pass defense.
Well, you can see what kind of game this is going to be.
They did against the
We're going to have
Vikings
to keep up.
last week. Vikings had 411 passing yards, so they let up a good amount down the field.
So when I was
We're going to test
listening,
that.
So yeah,
We're gonna
I
test
mean,
With
that.
Nick Mullins throwing the football.
exactly.
Yes,
So
if Nick Mullins can throw,
CD,
we're
get
going to
open.
test this, man.
so when I was listening to NFL radio, I think it was last night.
I got you listening to Sirius NFL radio?
I can't listen to the backups.
Who is that?
Yeah.
Who are they?
The local guys.
Okay.
Who are you listening
They were
to?
pointing out. No, this one I don't know who was on.
Okay.
But they were pointing out, wouldn't this be something if Detroit ends up as the 2nd seed, and they have to play the Rams?
That's exactly right.
So the 2 quarterbacks that got
Oh,
traded,
boy.
they get to play each
And
other.
we'll see. I mean, the Rams could wind up
I know what
being-
it was. It was Lomas Brown,
Yeah.
the former tackle.
Yes.
That is
Detroit.
that's the matchup that is going to. You just know it's going to happen. The Rams are going to play the Lions in the wild card round.
And so when they
One
were
way or
talking
the other,
about
it's going to turn
gonna
out
be a
like
fun
that.
game.
They asked-
And the
Is
Lions could be the 3rd seed, and
Right,
that
and
happened.
still happen.
Yeah, because where the Rams wind up.
They asked him, what would that be like in Detroit? And he said, chaotic. And he said,
Who said that?
Lomas did.
Oh, did,
and
yeah.
he said, can you imagine if Stafford comes back here and beats us?
And then you got Goff, the former Rams.
Right.
But
He said,
would-
it'll be the Monday night game.
Would it be? Did Matthew leave under bad conditions?
No.
Yeah.
They just decided-
it is.
But, you know,
No,
that
I'm saying-
that is a trade that truly benefited both teams. When you see what happened, obviously,
Eventually.
well,
We
with
weren't thinking that
Stafford
for a while.
Yeah, right. Because Goff had this reputation, of being whether soft or whatever, and then he goes up there and gets with a coach who believes in him in Detroit, and
Another example of having the right motivator for the right player.
right, and he's put together now 2 back-to-back really good seasons,
That's true.
Pro Bowl type seasons
He'll,
this year and last year.
he'll throw an interception for you, though.
But he's a much
Although
better-
last
he's a
year he
much
took care
better
of the
player
ball,
than
he only
used
threw
to.
7 picks last year. I think they were first in the league in giveaways last year, as far as being good. Fewest giveaways last year, kind of like what the Cowboys are this year.
This year he has tossed 10.
10.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
Not
right.
bad.
So he's
27 to 10, as long as it's 2-1. You're
yeah,
good.
and you're 2.7 to 1 there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And
which is very similar to Tua's stats, by the way.
they've done something they hadn't done since '93 and won a division title already.
It'd be
by
tough.
the way,
It's tough playing up there in Detroit.
Yeah.
So if they get some home field advantage in any way, boy, they love that.
even in the new stadium, right? The old stadium was even worse.
Oh yeah, the Silverdome.
When the Cowboys had to go up there a second round in '91, and they had already lost to Detroit in the regular season. Eric Kramer, the quarterback, and I'm going, the Cowboys are on this winning streak. They're not going to lose to Eric Kramer again, right? And I said, there's no way. And so the paper had already folded, so I was helping KRLD out, and I had a press pass. And so I went up to the game, and I'm sitting in like the second or third row of the stands in the end zone, and they played the national anthem. And when it finished, the noise in the stadium at the Pontiac Silverdome was so loud, I'm going, I don't think I like my pick anymore.
I never won there.
Really?
I played twice, never won. I played with the Cowboys, and they came out, and you know how it was. It's one of those games like we're always mad about with the Cowboys now. You go in there, you're supposed to win. You don't because the crowd's going crazy, and they're ready for you, and you're not ready.
Right.
We went in there with the Browns, and I remember Belichick, I guess he was accustomed to it, and using his experience, he goes, okay, guys, when we go out here and we warm up, it's going to be a effing circus. It's going to be a circus. And he was right. We went out there. They had a blimp inside going around.
in
yes.
this dome?
Yes. And then there's the smoke from whatever they have. We were trying to warm up as defensive backs. And they had some fire thing going on back there. And you could feel it every time it would burst. So we were over there warming up next to that. Nick Saban had to move us around to another part of the stadium, another part of the field, because it was so hot next to that, whatever the hell that thing was. It was a torch.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Like
about.
the pyro.
Yeah, and they're doing all that
The
stuff.
things you're involved with.
Yeah.
Before the
they
game.
did. Thank you. They did.
We don't use the fire anymore.
See,
Sorry, guys.
oh, thank God. Yeah, 'cause probably burned a couple of our guys in Cleveland. But no, that was ugly.
And
that
I was,
ugly.
and then I was,
And we went out there and
they
got our butts kicked.
and Detroit kicked their butts
Yeah,
in that game.
that's true.
They started Berline one more time.
All right, we're 6 minutes late on taking this
Oh,
first
oh,
break.
man.
So
Yeah,
Mick
bro.
Shots will continue in just a moment.
Time flies.
Yes, it does.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Did you know that responding to one spam call can lead to more? Or that the IRS would never ask for your social security number on the phone? Beat scammers at their own game by subscribing to AARP Fraud Watch Network alerts and texts. At aarp.org/beatscammerstx, you can sign up to receive information that helps you recognize and avoid the latest scams. That's aarp.org/beatscammerstx.
Back to Mick Shots.
Okay, Post Roofing and Waterproofing, the official roofer of the Dallas Cowboys. Guys, I was looking up a couple things for this Lions game.
Yes.
And the thing that I wanted to find out is what the Detroit Lions are concerned about as far as the Cowboys. So I listened to Jared Goff in one of his press conferences, and two of the players that were brought up in the press conference was Darren Bland and Micah Parsons. He had this to say about Darren Bland: very opportunistic, can take them all the way back to the house. And then when asked about Micah Parsons, he said he's a dangerous player. He's a great player. He can do a hell of a lot, but we've got to be aware of where he's at. So I think those are some two big concerns as far as the Cowboys defense for the Lions.
That's why he needs to be at linebacker.
You know, when you sent those plays out, Bill, a couple of days ago, you know, we were taking a look at a certain player and where they had us lined up and the personnel. One thing I did see that was a little alarming, Micah's got to be smarter. he's got to be smarter. There's some plays to where you can't just take off. You know, there are some plays where you have to understand what the formation is and where you can be beat. You know what I'm saying? Where your weakness is. I mean, all players, DBs, whatever. You know, we always start from the end. Like, what's my worst case scenario? That's what you have to figure out as soon as you line up, and then you kind of whittle it down to, you know, what I'm supposed to be doing and how I can make plays. He's a little bit one-track minded. He's got to be smarter because he's got himself out of position a couple of times when clearly he should have been more aware of the quarterback keeping the ball. And see, those kind of things kind of concerns me about him because he gets so frustrated with the inefficiency of the defense itself. And that's when you can tell he was just going out there freestyling. That is not what we need right now.
And that can be contagious with his teammates,
too. That's exactly what happened.
So, in which I think that's what happened in the Arizona game, and it probably happened in the Buffalo game, too.
It did happen, no doubt.
Yeah. And it happened against Miami, because when I went back and watched, and it was more than what Bill sent us, he's crashing inside without any awareness of where the football was.
Thank you. That's the play I'm talking about. We talking about the same play.
He crashed hard inside, and the ball
wasn't
came
even
to his.
Close.
No, and he wasn't
even
they
close.
didn't even. I don't even know if they had a play fake on.
I don't think they
and
did.
the ball came to his side, and it was wide open.
He was past the center.
Yes.
He was past the center. And see, those are the kind of things because we know how dangerous he is. Everyone knows how dangerous he is, but he's got to be smarter. And the smarter he gets, we'd always talk about Sean Lee and how he played. You got to have that kind of mentality in regards to aggression with intellect. You understand? And that's not what he's doing right now.
And see, they had him at linebacker on this one play, and he was not over the center, but he was in the middle, right? And it was a running play, I want to say, to his, well, it was either left or right.
One of them.
One of them, right? Anyway.
No, either way.
Could have been up the middle. Could have been right at it.
He read it. He read it accurately, and he was like shot out of a gun. He just went right through the crease and made the tackle.
Sean used to do.
And that's what I saw of him at Penn State.
Yep.
And I think
in the Cotton Bowl,
they've somewhat ruined his instincts. Like, that's where he needs to be.
I think he may have ruined it himself because of the success
he had
rushing
the quarterback.
Now people are countering that. He's got to know that. I mean, and the coaches should be telling that. Look, I mean, the coaches really should be telling him this. Everyone knows what you're doing. They're going to counter you because if we saw someone like him on the other team, we would do the same thing.
Right.
I think it just takes a conversation in the film session. It can't be that freaking hard. You know, I mean, I know football is hard,
right?
But as far as figuring out and anticipating, that's something that he has got to do better, and it's hurting this running defense.
And I think they just can't bring it to themselves to say, okay, you're not doing it, come here, sit by me.
Somebody's got to do something. It's got to be a Sean Lee's got to be in the room somewhere.
And we mentioned it during the show yesterday, the roster move they made yesterday,
right,
which was obviously Let's-Go active off of injured reserve and Rashaan Evans waived. And then the news came out later in the day that from the Frisco police that Evans had been arrested the previous day. And I'm here to tell you that had nothing to do with the release of
Because
Rashaan
I thought
Evans.
it did.
It had nothing to do with it.
Plus, it was like
in fact, I was not surprised that Evans was released after seeing against Miami that he had no defensive snaps in that game. He had 7 special team snaps. And one of the issues with him is they need, even if they're not going to use that particular linebacker spot on defense, that linebacker spot has to be used on special teams, and he does not have a history of playing special teams in his career, and they need a guy who can occupy that spot, who can be a special teams player.
And when he's been active, he's played more special teams than regular snaps, 14 in the last 4 games.
And by the way, I'm thinking that the reason Marquise Bell had limited snaps in the game is he is now how many games into the season? 15 games into this season, and his body at 215 pounds playing that position needs a break. So I'm thinking that's probably why Curse was in there more at linebacker, and Bell had only 31 snaps in the game.
However, with the Lions on the line,
Right, and
you got to have
that's the other thing.
the top guys out
The
there.
other part of that is the way the Dolphins play offense, and you want as much speed on the field as possible, which would mean get Bell on the field.
Right.
It didn't make any sense him not being on the field as much, and so I'm thinking he's probably, even though he's not on the injury report, he's probably got some nicks and that he's.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents worth on that.
I would imagine this draft, we're going to be looking at linebackers.
Well, and they get Overshown back from his ACL injury, but he is a player then now coming off an ACL injury,
It'll take
and you know how
time
that
to
goes.
develop.
Yeah,
And he hasn't played.
And well, he's a guy that was a safety recruited,
that's what I was gonna say.
out of ARP, Texas, 5-star safety, and converted to linebacker in college. I mean, so he is exactly what the NFL has become at the linebacker position. He just doesn't have the experience. And the biggest issue that I have with playing safeties at linebacker is they haven't spent their life reading and reacting like a linebacker does and sniffing out plays
Everybody
and stuff.
can't do that.
Right.
Everybody cannot do that.
Right, and this isn't on-the-job training here.
And you got to be ready to take on an offensive tackle
right.
who gets off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And that is our problem.
Well, and that's the other part of it is especially with Jonathan Hankins out, and you don't have the big hulking defensive tackle who can occupy the blockers and keep them off the linebackers too. And
are we countering that with 5 defensive linemen?
There's no.
No.
There were occasions.
They did it a little.
They did.
Which game was it?
Well, in the Miami game, there were times, not very often, maybe a handful of times in the game, dictated probably by situation, where they would play with an extra defensive lineman, but they never had what you would say, even in short yardage situation, front seven players who weren't safeties by nature, Curse being a safety.
Yeah.
They counted him as a linebacker in the game.
But you can do that on short yards and goal line. Especially goal line. You can do that.
Somewhere in that
you can
streak.
put the bigger bodies in the field.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And that was what was alarming to me in the Buffalo game. I mean, down on the goal line, there were 5 DBs and 6 bigger bodies on the field. I'm like, how can you stop them on the goal line if you got 5 or 6 DBs on the field?
You can't.
At the 1 yard line.
So maybe it was the Giants game here or Washington. They actually started playing 5 guys on the line defensive front. But it was only for that game.
Right, we haven't done it since.
I remember I'm saying, okay, you know what? I kind of like that. It's like, okay, I'm stopping the run, damn it.
What is Quinn? Is Quinn having any press conferences? Is he saying
he didn't have one this week, right?
No, there was
because of the short week.
Short week, they didn't talk.
Short week, my ass. I want to hear it. I want to hear some stuff, man.
All right, the shots are flying.
All right, and more Mick shots flying in a moment here.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Did you know that responding to one spam call can lead to more? Or that the IRS would never ask for your social security number on the phone? Beat scammers at their own game by subscribing to AARP Fraud Watch Network alerts and texts. At aarp.org/beatscammerstx, you can sign up to receive information that helps you recognize and avoid the latest scams. That's aarp.org/beatscammerstx.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back to Mick Shots.
Enjoy premier dining, shopping, and experiences from over 20 plus restaurants, shops, and more at the Star District. Check out Women's Boutique Flea Style of Frisco and the official boot partner of the Dallas Cowboys, Lucchese. Enjoy New Year celebrations at Snowbird Cocktail Lounge, Concrete Cowboy, and CityWorks Eatery and Poorhouse. Visit thestardistrict.com for the full directory.
Today is December 28th, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All day.
You know, December 28th holds a special place in Cowboys history.
And in this podcast.
It does?
Are you gonna?
In this podcast?
Are you gonna tell us?
Yeah.
Why this podcast?
Because I'm here.
Oh.
It's my
Because
birthday.
Everson is
It's
here.
my birthday. That's why I'm here.
Is it really?
It's special. Oh, shut up. You're not even a good actor.
Hold on, I'm going back to the notes. I wrote these all down. This might be on me, you guys.
Oh, no. This is on Bill. No, Bill
It's on
already
Bill?
knew. Bill already knew.
I did not know.
He already knew.
This was.
Bill's the man.
So the Hail Mary happened on your birthday.
That's right. You damn right.
I was going to bring up the Hail. It's Hail Mary
It's
Day.
Hail Mary Day?
No, it's Hail Everson
Walls
Day.
baby. This is Everson Walls Day. That was my 16th birthday. That was the happiest birthday I ever had in my life.
16th
Is
birthday.
this the birthday song? Are you playing something?
Yeah.
Oh,
Very nice.
I thought he was really going deep with some like black and red guy.
That's probably
Thank
all
you.
he could
Thank you,
use.
That's all he
Thank
can
you,
use
Christopher.
without
You're
paying.
Thank you,
Happy
Christopher.
birthday, Everson.
I thought you were going to pull out a Willie Nelson happy birthday.
So that was your
or something.
16th birthday.
That was my 16th birthday.
1975.
Man, I
December
was
28,
so doggone
1975.
You and Derek Eagleton have the same birthday.
You are lying.
Oh, it's Derek's birthday.
Wow.
Derek's birthday today too. Yes.
Nice,
Wow.
nice. I remember coming in, man, after the catch, and damn, I
No,
can't.
that wasn't the catch. That was a different game.
It was
Everson.
an actual catch. It was an actual. Drew had to catch the ball.
Well, he had to pin it on his hip.
So after the catch that Drew made in the Hail Mary game, I just remember I didn't know what to do. You know, I don't have no brothers or nothing at the time, so I didn't know what to do, man. I mean, damn, that was amazing, right? So I skipped into the kitchen, and my mom's making my birthday cake. I'm like, Mom, she don't give a damn about football. You know, I go in there, I had nobody to talk to.
I know
Mom.
the feeling. I know the feeling.
I'm like, Mom, the Cowboys
I've gone
just
through
won the
life
game.
that way.
I mean, I didn't really say it enough to where I said they just won the game. I mean, you know, to say that is nothing. I mean,
And you said they not only won the game, but it was a Hail Mary.
No, I
No,
did
we didn't
not
know
say
it was
that.
a Hail Mary then until Roger said it was a
she
Hail
didn't
Mary.
even let me get that far. She was like, boy, she was doing my cake. I remember she was doing my cake.
That reminds me of when I was in college when Roger threw the touchdown pass to Tony Hill to beat Washington
Yes.
in 1979. Is that right?
Yes, 79.
Okay, 79. And I was at the frat house in my room. I lived in the annex, the SIGEP South is what we called it, and so it was colder than all get out in Norman, Oklahoma that day. And so I'm in there watching it, and I went running outside, jumping up and down like on ice outside, and I sprained my ankle. I was looking for I was Jim Valvano.
looking for
I was Jim Valvano
Yes, me
trying
too.
to find somebody
Right.
to hug.
You couldn't find anybody.
I just went outside and started playing
Just
by
the
myself
ice.
because nobody was around. I just didn't know what to do. I was just had all this energy and I was happy and it was crazy, man. Forget my birthday. We won the game, bro. That's all I worried about.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was fun.
That was good.
Very good.
Trip down memory lane there, Mickey.
And a good birthday.
You do anything special for your birthday?
Going to a friend's house tonight, and my boy Larry Lundy headed to his house. For some reason, his wife loves to cook for me, and
that's
they
a
have
good
family
thing.
over. She's from the islands, so we're gonna have like the yellow rice and the beans. And
Very good.
That makes
Sounds great.
Yeah, she's a cool chick, man.
Well, that was an extensive tour that came by.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
That's still coming.
Yeah.
That's for my birthday.
They all came to
That's
sing,
for my birthday, right?
sing happy birthday for
See,
Everson.
if this was out there,
If Nate was
if it was being piped out there in the hallway, they would.
if Nate in Frisco was out there, he could lead them in singing happy birthday to Everson, but he's not
you
out
better
there.
check your text. I'm sure Nate sent some goofy text.
They were shooing them through, too.
All right, Mickey, we got 5 minutes left for more Mick shots.
What
here.
do I have?
Yep. What do you got? What do you got?
Let's
So,
get down to football.
Here's another one on Detroit, I noticed. They've won 11 games. That has tied their franchise single-season high. Have never won more than 11 games in a single season. So they're going for history here at the AT&T. As a matter of fact, the last time they've won 11, 2014, 1991, and 1962.
1962.
Anybody
Damn, that was
here
old school.
born by 62?
A couple
Other
of us
than
were.
me?
And me.
Mickey was. I mean, Everson was.
Everson was.
And me.
He,
Yeah.
he announced that earlier.
Can't relate.
No, the better question for Savannah,
Savannah goes home and
are
she's
your
like,
parents born before?
Yes.
So who's the quarterback in 62?
Milt Plum?
Was he good?
No, I'm
George
just,
Plimpton?
could have been. that was close to
that's
it.
Funny. Man, I forgot all about him.
Paper Lion. Go,
Good book.
Savannah, you need to Google Paper Lion, George Plimpton.
Okay.
It goes back to our day.
Yes, that's the way the media was back then. That was
It was Milt Plum.
Yeah.
And Earl Morrill
Milt Plum.
was a backup.
I'll look it up, you guys.
There you go. Well, that was a nice little nugget.
How about that?
Okay, and the Cowboys looking for their 11th win. What you remember predictions at the beginning of the season? What we predicted the Cowboys to win? How many games in the regular season? I know what mine was.
I did 11
Cowboys
or 12.
are still
I
on
think
track.
I did 11.
I don't recall doing this.
I did 12.
Were you here?
Well, you were a
were-
late arrival.
You were a late
I was like a
arrival.
week late.
Yeah.
A week late into the season.
So you can just make up whatever it is.
We're going with, I think, 12.
I
12
think
wins.
I'm pretty sure I went 12. It'd be
think I
third
won
straight
11.
12.
I
So
think I did 11.
got to win this one and got to beat Washington.
Right? Get the 12 and 5.
I
right?
think when I know what I was thinking is that hopefully we'd be trending upward as we got to the end of the season. I didn't think it was gonna be easy. It was gonna be an easy 11 or 12.
Where is the Cowboys' arrow right now?
Lateral. It's lateral right now. We could lose 3 in a row.
You
Could.
need to be on the upward trend.
Yeah.
We need to be.
So you came out of that.
Winning
How
the
did
next
you
two.
feel about this team coming out of that Miami game?
Still lukewarm, because all the teams right now are
I
playing.
mean, forget about the final.
To me, they're in the middle of the pack in regards
forget about the final score of that game.
Right.
How is this team playing coming out of that game?
Well, if you're going to look at it that way, then I have to look at us inability to play the run. It does not look good. Until we can do something about that, it's silly to me that no one's trying.
That's the
Seems like
concerning
we're not
part.
addressing it, other than here in the media.
That's the concerning part for me. Is
Anytime we've lost
playing
a game
Jaron
in
Curse at
playoff situation,
linebacker
it's
by
'cause of the
necessity, or was this just a one-time
I mean,
strategic move against a Miami team, or was it based on what you
Right.
didn't see against Buffalo the week before, and you're making?
They were very concerned about the pass, so then they decided maybe to be a little soft on the run. Is that
But
what you're trying to say?
he was the third
Compromising?
he was the third linebacker all year last year.
But my concern is him being the second linebacker.
Yeah. Well, Curse or Bell?
Bell.
Okay. We'll get him out there. I'm going to get him out there.
All right.
You're going to heal him.
Either way, they're going to be overwhelmed. Either way, they're going to be overwhelmed.
Oh, and then here's the other part of it.
The ability to stop.
Here's the other part of it. What if have an injury at linebacker? To their one linebacker on the roster, Damone Clark. Mm-hmm. Now what?
During the game.
Yeah.
What you putting Jordan Lewis?
Because look at the practice squad. There's only two
it ain't
linebackers
looking good after that.
on the practice squad.
And I'm thinking Buddy Johnson has a chance to be elevated this week.
I'm thinking probably because
Malik's already used his 3
You would
elevations.
have to put him on the 53.
Right. I think Buddy Johnson's probably looking at an elevation this week.
I mean, I'm so frustrated. It seems as if, I'm like, we're running around, the sky is falling. You know what I'm saying? The sky is falling. Nobody's doing anything about it. We just status quo, as if, hey, man, we didn't just get 200 yards run on us in Buffalo. We didn't just show weakness against the Dolphins. Allowed them to move the chains.
91 yards.
Oh, there you go with the numbers. It's not about the numbers.
Well, last night I watched the episode of Hard Knocks that the Dolphins featured when they played us this last weekend.
I saw a little clip.
And so I, went down, and relived a little bit of pain there watching it. Mm-hmm. But I will say one of the biggest things that stuck out to me the most is when they were prepping for the game, the Dolphins' really biggest concern was Dak and his ability to run on third downs and get a first down because the way he scrambles. That was one of their biggest concerns that they, kind of were talking about in the episode. And that is a concern, and that should be a concern for the Lions. He does a good job at scrambling and being able to get the ball out when he needs to.
Scrambling to pass.
Exactly.
Scrambling to pass.
So here's what the dilemma is. I just wanted to check. So their tight end, Sam Laporta.
He's good.
74 catches. So how
Rookie
you
out of Iowa.
You don't want a tight end defending him. I mean, a linebacker defending him.
He's 87 also, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen him.
So there's a conundrum there. They run the ball well, but the tight end needs a safety probably to cover him. And the only safety that's big enough to do it is Jaron Kearse.
And see,
so he's a mismatched player, and
Jaron doesn't cover that well down the field.
I don't think so either.
He's a good zone
player.
player.
If he's got to make the guy not get off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he never does not.
And as McCarthy pointed out yesterday, he's a good two-way tight end. Like, he can get downfield, but he's also a pretty good blocker. Mm-hmm. So that's the dilemma
the Cowboys
there.
liked him coming out of Iowa.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, there was thought. I'm pretty sure he was in the conversation in the first round. I mean, he went 34 to Detroit. Mm-hmm. And so, obviously in the draft, having lost Dalton Schultz, there was a lot of speculation about the Cowboys taking a tight end, and I think Laporta was probably at the top of their list. So,
and he got taken.
And rightly so. He's got 74 catches in his rookie season.
And he gets down the field. It's none of these 5 yards, turn around, and
he's like our 87.
Post up.
Yeah,
he's just like our 87.
But you got him in with a fourth instead of a second.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So much more to get to tomorrow. We're not going to talk Missouri football tomorrow. Is that a deal? Everybody agrees?
I'm with you. After the fight song.
There you go. All right. And so we'll talk Oklahoma football and the post-game show from tonight's Alamo Bowl in the next edition of Mick Shots.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!